Mr. David Lewis, Vice President, Robotel Technology Corporation.
Just give me a moment. Just sort something out in the last minute, I think. Hi, good morning, one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, hi, my name is David. I'm from a company called Robotel. It's basically based in Canada, Montreal, and I take care of the Asia Pacific region. So I'm very happy to share with you our findings in terms of technology and our research and our experience of being in business for the last 34 years. And what I'm going to talk to today is about how to basically make students speak more. One of the things that we found out very often is that at the end of the day, we have a lot of systems out there and we have a lot of contents out there, but we also find out that a lot of students are actually not necessarily doing the right amount of speaking. Alright? So without further ado, I'll just move on to my next slide. I'll get control from here. Alright. So what are the main challenges we face today in terms of language classrooms? In terms of listening and speaking skills. Listening and speaking, mostly speaking, is a skill that can only be acquired through practice and language, through practice and usage. Simply because the brain is wired as a reflex action. Therefore, it's only through repeated practice that you acquire the skills to be able to speak. Likewise, listening to a skill that can be honed or improved through practice, the issue we have in a lot of classrooms in Asian countries especially so, is that we usually have a lot of non-native speakers. So students are not necessarily exposed to authentic accent. But the biggest issue is really the speaking portion where students have a very small amount of speaking time. And quite often it's going to be in a format, and even when they do speak, quite often it's going to be in a format where the students have to do a presentation and they're going to do that by memory. So in a lot of times they actually memorize it by heart. There's no real conversation, speaking ability to think and to articulate it. So we hit a wall quite often because students are reluctant to speak as well, especially for the beginner and intermediate students. And they are always too shy to use the skills that they have learned. So, one of the big challenges for teachers is to push students to use the speaking portion when they have time. And usually the time that they have is very limited. Therefore, combination of all those factors quite often, the skill levels of the students when they graduate after several years of language classes is going to be fairly limited, especially in the speaking portion. Also, the big budget factor, you see that the big budget is also one of the issues that they're going to face. So, our challenge is to try to find ways to use the latest technology today to improve this situation, to be able to speak more. In addition, I just want to say that we do not really believe that completely self-access systems can be truly successful to get the students to acquire good communication skills. I've got nothing against people who have online systems that are self-paced, but we believe that teachers have an important role to play in the learning process for students in learning languages. So teachers are still very important in this aspect. Now, as you can see, I I don't mean to make the thing look more complicated than it is, but using technology creates another issue, alright? The institution I represent, as I mentioned earlier, has been in the technology education since 1984. We have over 34 years of experience in that field that we've learned, and what we've learned is the fact that when you come in with solutions that are technically complex, because they have been designed to be able to do a lot of different combination of activities and experiences, the complexity levels makes it difficult for teachers to really use. So there's a lack of user-friendliness in a lot of the tools out there for teachers. If you take a typical language lab, for everybody, and everybody is familiar with the concept of the context of using modern technology like tablets and cloud-based systems, there's still a level of complexity that requires teachers to have a certain learning curve, which means that more often than not they have an issue with that, and we see a fairly low usage of those labs because the learning curve is steep. A lot of institutions come in and they basically leave a lot of technology with the teachers. They are pretty good technology, but it's not easy to use. So because of that, the teachers find that, after some time they actually abandon using such systems, and we need to prevent all these kind of things from happening, right? So we also need to ensure that using these kind of technologies, we do not create a kind of learning curve which is too steep for the teachers, and that also it doesn't burden the teacher, having to constantly ask, how do I activate this? Can I have more support? And when something goes wrong, what are they going to turn to? So the systems itself got to be there to help the teachers. All right. So at the end of the day, systems. We need systems today to actually reduce the workload of the teachers. This may look a little bit funny, but we actually do think that a lot of teachers are quite overloaded today. But what we also need are also highly motivated teachers as well. So there's a balancing game that we need to play. And basically, we need to basically move from single kind of participation. A lot of students are actually turned off in a lot of these kind of classes, where, say, the teacher teaches grammar, all right? When the teacher asks a question, you will always get one or two students that are very motivated, and they are the ones that will always put up their hand. They are the ones that get to speak. Most of the other students will actually try to shy away, and they will try to make sure that the teachers don't see them. So we want to stop this kind of participation to ensure that systems will enable all students to participate in the class. And to move into systems where everyone will actively participate. All right. So, moving on. The combination of these factors and the fact that it's really expensive to set up makes the technology that is fairly limited in terms of coverage and usage. So when we look at this, we said we have to find a technology that we can get students to speak, and at the same time make it easy for the teacher to not only use, but to be able to give a lot of practice to students with the limited amount of time that they have. So we need to provide a tool to make teaching more engaging, and basically this tool should be able to help students speak better. I will show you in a short while how it works. Basically, this is the systems that we are looking for are basically artificial intelligence. And this system is going to be very robust in the sense that teachers don't get confused when they use them. At the end of the day, the teachers just need to click on stuff and it's going to work for them, all right? I'll show you very soon. What we've included are actually a lot of English teaching materials as well. When the teachers get into the class, they start teaching immediately. They don't need to create if they don't want to, but they have an option to create if they want to. Alright, so technology that will do that. And also we need systems that are not just affordable, but very easy for teachers to use, and to be able to, and especially for students to be able to access the material inside the classroom. The teacher will teach inside, students can access, and students can continue to access the material outside of the classroom. All right? We need to increase those kind of activity 3 times, 4 times, so that, say the students spend 1 hour with you all in class as teachers, the student should be able to practice 3 times that amount outside of class. So basically what we feel is that, and I'm sure you guys also agree, that learning any particular language is like music, it's like martial arts. What is the secret to that kind of success? It's basically practice, practice, practice. Most of the times the students do the practice in class, but when they are out of class, there's no more connection. Or they go to a totally new program where they see tuition outside, or they use some self-paced systems, which are not in line with what the teacher has just taught. So we need something that actually can sink in, all right? So at the end of the day, what I'm talking about is systems that when I talk about students accessing inside and outside, we are talking about cloud-based systems, the use of AI as well. 75% of this kind of activities need to be self-graded. That's what I meant earlier. The systems are not to make life more difficult for the teachers. When a student does a particular activity, the system should be able to grade that activity for the teacher. All right? Having said this, there are some activities which we still need the teachers to grade. Like for example, if the teacher wants to say, send a picture to the student and tell the student, articulate, think about it, record what you think is in the picture. So the student will record their understanding and speaking abilities. When that is done, then obviously the teachers still need to grade that 1 by 1. But nowadays teachers also have got assistants. You can ask them to basically help the teachers to do that. But 75% of the activities are actually self-grading. And we also have bring your own device, which are basically wireless capabilities. All right. Basically, we need to allow more time for students to practice speaking the target language. Hence, like all these bring your own device are actually pretty useful. Meaning to say that today we kind of save the institution from spending too much money. All right. A lot of institutions every 3 to 5 years spend a huge amount of money just to buy new computers. You rewire the whole lab. You do the cabling again. You pull out all this kind of thing. And all these kind of things are very expensive. What we are just suggesting are basically use a pretty good access point. Students can come in with their own smart devices or tablets or iPads, whatever they have, and they can connect with the system and the teacher can start the class immediately. So technologies like this are very easily available today, but you need to find the one that you can access easily. The last thing the teacher would want is for a system up here to basically cannot connect, right? So you're going to find systems that are stable. Not when you start a class of 40 students and 10 students will say, hey teacher, I can't connect. Then you spend like, what, 15 minutes, 30 minutes trying to call technical support and all this kind of thing. So you're going to find robust systems that really work well. Of course, the native pronunciation is very important. The AI technology that we use, for example, goes to Google Speech and IBM Watson, and that actually helps to assess when the teacher writes a text, right? Let's say the teacher wants the student to learn simple greetings like good morning, how are you? They can actually select, you want the English to be United States English, UK English, Australian English, or whatever it is, all right? And then that native kind of pronunciation will come out. Students will listen to them and they can record, all right, and see how accurate they are. And of course, in terms of the exercises, needs to focus on cultural aspects, improve the accountability in terms of speaking activities. This is very important as well. Also, a lot of the points that Dr. Vera mentioned just now are actually pretty important as well. How the students use the digital information that they have. And also, it encourages students to reflect and take ownership the activities themselves that the students take, a lot of repeat record. You don't like it, you have something of an assessment tool, you erase it, you practice again and again and again until the student get it. So, as I mentioned just now, there's no shortcut to simple practice, practice, and practice. You need to keep doing that, right? Of course, this system, one thing good about this is that when we mention about all students taking part in the class, it minimizes the fear of mistakes and embarrassment. Quite often, maybe not in university, I'm not sure, sometimes in high schools and so on, when a student put up their hand and they make a mistake, or the teacher single out a particular student, you know, what do you think? And the student, I don't know, teacher, you know, and everybody laughs at the student. That's obviously going to stop the student from putting their hands in the future. So we need systems that all students are having a headset, for example. They are in it, they are looking into their computers, and they are responding to the exercise. When teacher asks them a question, they are listening to it, and they are also responding. They don't have time to listen to their friends and laugh at their friends. So in that sense, we are encouraging this kind of active participation and to reduce this kind of embarrassment. Over time, once they move from level 1, level 2, and so on, the embarrassment will disappear. But we need to get them out of that to start with. And of course, by doing all this, you have long-term prevention of the targeted language. The systems that we are providing in terms of making the students speak more, we have a pretty good curriculum set up. It uses the CFR model. So if you want to know more about this, you're welcome to look at the booth behind there, and we can discuss more in the afternoon how to use the systems like this. And it's all guided by the teacher. Okay. All right. So what I was talking about in terms of make them speak is basically in terms of step 1. It's all there for the teacher. The teacher gets into the class, sign on with your username ID, and then you select the chapter that you want. If these are the homework in terms of chapter 4, section 1 that you want, you just click on it and just enable it. That's it. Activate it. Once you see that green color, students will be able to access it from home or anywhere else to do that work. All right. So, in terms of step 2, after basically students get into it, they select the class that they are in. Okay, they choose a particular assignment and they do it. Basically, the Let's Talk is the name of the program that we've actually created that has the English content. Students have access to that 24/7. So even if you're traveling for a holiday and you have homework to do, so long as you have internet access, you can access that. So that's what we mean that the systems today must be robust. Wherever you are, whether you are out of the class, out of the lab environment, you can still do your practice. All right? After that, basically the teacher chooses an assignment, select a student, review the student's work. This is very important. Aside from the students doing the work, teachers can actually review that part of work. When they review, another interesting thing, sometimes teachers need to teach the students how to pronounce. It's not easy to always type a text to the students because each teacher will have hundreds of students. If you need to type a text to everyone, it's going to take many, many hours. So we have certain record buttons as you see on the top on your right-hand side. The teacher can actually record. Like for example, I'm not talking, some students, especially some, I'm not singling out the Chinese, but I'm just using an example, for example, but it's fine because I'm Chinese, all right? So, a lot of Chinese have the problem of pronouncing Robotel, Robert, Robber. They can't seem to roll the tongue. They pronounce it as Lobber, Lobert, right? So in this kind of situation, the teacher can actually record and say that Hi, Joseph, I need you to pronounce the R by rolling your tongue. Say it a few times. Robert, Robert. So when you do things like this and you send it to the students listen to the teacher's audio and they get that immediate feedback. That's pretty important. When they hear that from the teacher, it makes more sense than just reading from a text. All right? So we have stuff like this that can actually change and help. And then of course the grade will be there and the oral feedback was also mentioned about. All right? In terms of the auto grading, we have a lot of exercises there, like the students, where do you live, and all those kind of things. You basically do the word jumbling and all those kind of things. Many activities that actually help the students. The one that I was talking about in terms of pronunciation, we had, like, for example, the teacher set it up in terms of English United States. So where are you from? You will click a button, they will listen to it, and then they will record it, and then the system will analyze whether they are 100% accurate or 33% and so on. And then they can do it again and again and again until they get maybe 100% or 90%. All right? Now, we didn't design this to be like super duper accurate because if you make it 100% accurate, sometimes some students may not be able to say it and they get discouraged because they are always at the 33% or 40%. So we need a system that is also, the artificial intelligence is going to be a little bit more forgiving. Like for example, 80, 90% I think is pretty good. Okay, so systems like this. But if they can get 100%, by all means. So basically everything is in the library, and the wonderful thing about this is that there are at least 19 different types of in-field activities that teachers can use. You can create if you want, or you can just use the contents that we've already set up for you all. Alright? Later on, if you want, you can, like I said, go to the back. It can show you a full demo of how it works, or more discussion in the afternoon. Just to wrap it up, alright? So in terms of technology framework, we can then speak basically, we need systems that students can keep practicing, alright? So that it engages and motivates students. I know my time is up. I just want to say one very important thing, okay? I need to share this because everywhere that I talk to, so many universities throughout Asia Pacific, you know what is the greatest challenges we face in terms of language learning systems? It's actually not the language learning system. It's actually the motivation of the teacher. Alright? So, if department heads are here, deans are here, vice chancellors are here, you guys are the driver of whether technology is going to work or not. I'm sorry to say this, you may not like me after this, but hey, seriously, you guys are the drivers, alright? If you guys don't manage change management in the teacher's mindset, the teachers are going to say, too much work. I don't know how to do this. I gotta go home. I gotta cook. What time? I'm gonna look after my kids, and maybe take some private tuition. Whatever the case is, you've got to motivate the teachers. All right? I know it's not easy. Change management is one of the most difficult things because humans do not like change, basically. All right? So I would just say a very simple tip is this: the institutions that I work with that have been successful, they start with baby steps. Alright? Select 3 to 5 teachers that are more technologically inclined. They are also usually more on the younger range. I'm not against the older ones. I'm old myself. So anyway, select the people that really want to learn. Select the teachers that are passionate. Instill this passion in them. But we are not out of it. Systems creators like us need to create a system that is very user-friendly. Alright? That when the teacher clicks on something, it's going to work and it's going to help them. Alright? So we've got 50-50% work there that we need to do on each other, but I think the majority of it lies in change management of the teachers. Alright? So what I mentioned is basically that in terms of the structured classes, lessons, they are all there, all right? So last but not least, we've also got a free trial for teachers that want to go into this. So if you want to do that, feel free to talk to the people behind. They will be able to help you get registered into this. So thank you once more for allowing me to share our experience with you. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.